Timmy Turner.
I wish Cosmo and Wanda were here.
It's not that, guys. It's just this whole thing started because I didn't fight my own battles.
Ben 10.
Going hero. This is gonna be the worst vacation ever. I might as well have gone to summer school.
My Little Pony.
Dear Princess Celestia, today I had so much fun with Joe. What's his cutie mark?
I knew it was the most important day of my life, that my entire future would be affected by the outcome of this day.
Bubbles.
I'm gonna be the prettiest girl at the party. I'm gonna be the prettiest girl at the party. La, 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 la.
Bubbles talking to a squirrel. Ms. Minutes.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority. I'm Miss Minutes.
I'm Miss Minutes, and it's my job to catch you up before you stand trial for your crime.
Blah, 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 blah.
Timmy, Raven, Harley Quinn. Over 500 episodes of TV. Tara, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a genius.
Does every episode feel like a whole new story and dimension adding to the world and the universe?
Yeah, of course. Like when you're a regular on a show and your character is going through something, you are going through that something with that character, or else it's not going to mean things to people. Like you really have to become symbiotic with these characters, see through their eyes, imagine everything they're seeing, because unlike on camera, it is not right in front of you. And it's only until recently that we had, live animatic storyboards.
How recent is that?
I'd say in the last maybe 3-4 years, really. And before that, the first things we used to have Powerpuff storyboards that were like this fat, and they were all like copies of hand-drawn each frame.
Just like one marker drawn out?
Yeah, or like sometimes they'd be really intricate, and I'd be like, who is the storyboard artist on this episode? Because it's like every moment is so meticulous and beautiful, and I can't draw at all. Can you draw?
No, not at all.
Terrible. And it's just so fascinating to see that skill set, like it's so obvious that we come with certain gifts, and finding them is one of your jobs while you're on this planet. But the people that come with the gift of visual art are really fascinating to me.
And
I'm like, wow.
And to do it and tell a story is so crazy.
And every moment, so that we could know how big or small something was, right? If Bubbles was like talking to a squirrel, they literally had her down in a drawing talking to squirrels. And in the session, I was like, I was like imagining her talking to these, I love animals too, talking to these squirrels. And Kenny was like, is this how you talk to squirrels? I'm like, yep, this is squirrel sign language, I guess. I was like, But not having that visual would have made it more challenging. And I'm a pretty visual person, so even when I have an audition, I really like an image to look at. It makes a big difference to me because I have to envision the world and what I look like in the mirror. Like all that matters to me becoming a character.
Why is Bubbles able to speak to squirrels?
Because it's one of her special powers.
Is there a theory behind as to why?
I just think Powerpuff Girls was one of the most random, hilarious shows. And by the way, that's to me the very funniest kind of funny. Like it's random or doesn't really make sense, or why are we running from broccoli? Like that makes me laugh. And I think it was just a random thing because she loves, she goes crazy for her kitty. She loves animals, and how hilarious would that be? I think the writers were either stoned or just trying to think what was hilarious. Either way, like, I don't know. It just goes with the randomness of the show and also the randomness of Bubbles. Like you could tell that they would often just come up with things that were so insane, but hilarious and funny.
What's up, guys? Real quick, I just want to give you a word from our sponsors. You spend a third of your life in bed, so why settle for anything less than the best night of sleep? If you haven't heard about Helix Mattress yet, I'm about to turn you on to something great. Waking up physically sore or mentally exhausted could be a component from a bad night of sleep. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that is customized to fit your needs. And if you know me, a good night's sleep is a must. Another incredible thing about Helix Sleep is that it ships directly to your door. Helix combines innovative technology with high quality materials to deliver comfort and support. Helix sleep mattresses have a supportive, hybrid design, and you can choose to elevate your mattress with premium cooling options. The Helix lineup offers over 20 unique mattresses to choose from and a variety of mattress toppers. Helix has a sleep solution for just about everybody. And the best is yet to come because I have a 27% code that I'm going to be linking down below in honor of the Memorial Day sale as an exclusive partner. I personally would sleep a little hot at night, which would make it tough to get a good night of sleep. There's nothing worse than waking up hot, dry mouthed, dreading looking for a cup of water. That's where Helix's cooling technology can come in and help you. This is actually my second Helix mattress. I've turned on my parents and my brother-in-law onto a Helix mattress and they love it. It's soft, it's comfy, and the Helix offers a sleep quiz which helps you figure out what kind of mattress works best for you. Just check out the website, take the mattress quiz, because you could be sleeping on something that you don't even realize is not the best for you. Helix offers free shipping and seamless delivery. Helix offers a 120-night sleep trial to test the mattress out and ensure that you love it. Also, all Helix mattresses come with a lifetime warranty. Check out helixsleep.com to take advantage of the Memorial Day sale exclusive partner offer and get 27% off site-wide. Simply just use my link down below or check out helixsleep.com/JOE VULPIS PODCAST. Thank you to Helix Sleep for sponsoring today's episode. If you're looking for a great getaway, a vacation, or a place to stay, Carmel Valley Ranch is where you gotta be. My wife and I took a weekend getaway trip up there. We got to enjoy some incredible scenery, try some tasty food, and overall got to unwind. Carmel Valley Ranch is located in Santa Lucia foothills near Big Sur and Monterey. They offer over 500 acres of playground for all ages to roam, explore, and discover. The entire ranch features 177 suite-style guest rooms featuring a separate living room and stunning views. They've got swimming pools, a fitness center, an 18-hole Pete Dye designed golf course, and the ranch is also home to a Pinot Noir vineyard. Not to mention an apiary for honey production, which I got to experience. I personally wanted to try beekeeping for forever, and when I went to Carmel Valley Ranch, they were the only ones that had it available where you can sign up and get up close and personal with the bees. So if you want a weekend getaway or a great place to stay, check out Carmel Valley Ranch. When Bubbles came across your table, did it feel like she was going to last for a while? Did there feel like something special was about these three characters?
100%.
Really?
And they had already done the pilot without me. I actually wasn't in Los Angeles when they first cast the pilot. And his original concept was from the Whoop-Ass Girls, from his college project. And there were many iterations in it till it came to when it was my turn to audition, and the sides were the drawing of Bubbles. And the character description was like, imagine the absolute cutest voice ever. Like, it was like, whatever you think cute is, out cute yourself by a million, and that's this part. And I remember walking in at the old Hanna-Barbera building, which is pretty close to here. It used to be pretty close to here. It was such a cool piece of architecture. I really wanted to like buy it and make an animation museum, but it's now like apartments or a gym or something. But I remember going into that audition, and Craig McCracken was there, and I think Chris Zimmerman was directing, and I can't remember what other producer people were there, but I remember kind of locking eyes with him after I did my first read, and he was like, yeah, that's Bubbles. And they know right away when they hear it, which is kind of sad that we don't get to do that anymore, because now auditions are all remote. So I have to be director, editor, casting director, like by myself, and like taking a guess at what they want. And sometimes those guesses happening live is what brings a character to life. So it's kind of sad that we don't get to do that anymore.
Because you hear the tones of how they say things and what you really need to adjust to make the
Well,
character.
when you're in the booth with them, let's say the character is supposed to be kind of unattractive, weird looking, big alien thing, and you read it as it is, and then you're like, listen, I have like a crazy idea to go completely against type, and maybe she's like an alien Marilyn, and you're like, oh my god, we never thought of that, that's hilarious. And then we play, and they're like, oh, can you make it a little deeper? Actually, can you make it a boy? Can you make it whatever? And if you're in the studio with that other creative who's, you know, very knowledgeable on what the network wants, what the director wants, what the writers wants, what the artists are all looking for, putting it together to make that delicious cake, and they're like, yep, that's it. And we don't have that moment anymore.
And you'll spend hours working on a...
Days. Sometimes days. I had an audition this week, and I was working on it in my studio, and I was like, it's still not right. And then it got late, and I just labeled it, see you tomorrow. It's like I couldn't stay and look at it anymore. I needed some space from it. And then sometimes you hit one right out of the gate. You're like, that's that voice. That's it. But I won't leave the audition until I have that feeling.
What's taking you that time to figure out what the character is going to sound like?
Because I don't actually think I'm figuring it out. I think I'm just like getting messages from this insane entity that wants to come speak through me. So it's like, this is not feeling right yet. This is not feeling like this is how this entity should talk yet. That's like the most famous story I have of that is Teen Titans and the original one. I was already playing like 5 tragic teenage girls at the time, and Batgirl was one of them for all the same people at Warner Brothers. And I always differentiate my sound because they're their own entity. I can't have this character living in this other show. It's like I can't, like, they're a being that comes down when it's their turn to play.
Which is so impressive with how many characters you have done.
Yeah, and they're all up there, like, just me being insane all the time. So when I went in for the audition, I just sort of relied on me visualizing the moments in the acting, but it sounded just like Batgirl. And I was leaving the studio and I turned to look at Andrea Romano, who was in the booth with Glenn Murakami and everyone else. And I was like, I have this other idea I want to try. And they're like, okay, go. And I just went in and I had this weird idea that there was this rule every time she spoke. And they were all like, yeah, that's Raven. And had I not listened to that idea, how did they not let me go back in the studio? Like, all these kind of cool moments and serendipitous things have to happen to create a character that catches fire, that means something to people around the world. And that means you have to put your special take on that so that people respond to it.
Are you constantly working on new characters, too, of somebody that you haven't done before?
Yes. I do voices all the time.
All day, 24/7?
All the time.
Are you thinking about it 24/7?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, I have other thoughts in my mind, too. I have a pretty busy brain.
Do you ever find that you have to separate yourself from creating the voices?
No, I don't get, like, stuck in a character. That doesn't happen. But so many of these characters are part of me, right? Like, yeah, sure, Bubbles was adorable, but she also came with, like, this funny quirk and this funny quirk that came from me, which is why maybe she says, "Picky, funny." Like, who would have thought of that but me? Like, there's parts of me that go into these characters. And so, for sure, sometimes I'm walking around thinking sort of like these characters because they're part of me.
What was the moment you realized that you could do it?
Well, you know, I always like did funny voices with my sister. We had our own like little fake radio station and we would do voices, and I loved imitating the Saturday morning cartoons. And I didn't know that I was going to do primarily animation voiceover, and I like doing on camera. I like doing theater. So I thought it was going to be all of those things, and it is still all of those things. I'm just more famous for the voice thing. And the first audition I had for a series regular was for the voice of Hello Kitty. It was the first time she had a mouth. It was the first time she spoke English.
Which is a crazy
I
IP to
know.
step into.
Crazy. And so, yeah, like that moment is really like the rest is history, because it was like that led for these American companies that were recording in Toronto, where I grew up, get to know me, right? Once they get to know you and they know that you're going to deliver something funny and entertaining and they like to work with you, you're sort of in this amazing little group.
Is it a big process to become such a big character for a company like Hello Kitty?
That's a good question. I don't really know. I know from my perspective that I auditioned, and I actually initially booked my Melody, which was fine because she was my favorite of the Sanrio characters. So I'm like, yes, I'm my favorite. And then on the very first day, they switched me and the other actress, which was kind of crazy. Stuff like that happens. But the idea that maybe the suits had any like part of that because they weren't at that session is unlikely. So they probably weighed in on what they liked and didn't like. That would be my guess. I don't know who made that kind of decision. It was probably very collaborative.
And was it the same voice?
No, it was a little stronger. My Melody's a little sweet little bunny thing. You know, she's not as leader of the gang. Hello Kitty is definitely the leader.
When Timmy Turner comes across for your auditions, did that feel like that was going to be something that was going to live on forever?
I think I probably knew from the first few sessions because the cast was so magical and hilarious and fun, and our comedic timing together was something I hadn't experienced before that and still haven't since. And we would do 2 episodes, 11 minutes back to back, just 2 pages, like side-by-side pages, once through, twice through, done. That would be how fast we would do an episode. No show does that. You're like 3 in a row of each line. Maybe you get to play off the other actor a little bit, but there's still like a process of, you know, at least 3 to 9 of each line and going back and forth. But like having the rhythm of playing it in real time was something that you don't see. And I think that contributed to the funniness of it, because everything in comedy is timing. And so we had great timing and energy together.
And is Butch in the room with you guys while everyone's doing it?
Yeah, so at that studio Nickelodeon, he'd be in the editing bay, and it would be like him and our engineers who are all awesome, and whoever was writing, and other writers would come in and throw jokes mid-session. It was really fun. And on the other side of the glass was Darren and Suzanne, and behind them would be whoever was guesting that week, so often Gray or D. Baker or Carlos Alazraki. And then there was like a little ISO booth to the left where they would put usually the leads of the show, so there'd be no bleeding. And I was always in that little ISO booth, but we would like text each other and write notes to each other and make funny faces to each other, and it was very fun.
What makes a cast like that so special where it is lightning in a bottle?
I think it's some kind of magic, like it can't not be. There's just, because sometimes you're put in situations where not everybody's clicking or someone's like not someone that you love, but when it all goes together, like Teen Titans, Fairly OddParents, Powerpuff Girls, where we all genuinely love each other so much. And while we were doing those shows, went through so much life together, we were like family. I don't know, that it doesn't always happen. There has to be something about that combination of those people and, of course, what they're doing, what we're working on, and how it makes you feel that makes it so special.
How often were you recording for Fairly OddParents throughout the week?
Once a week. Mm-hmm.
2 episodes once a week?
Yep. And then we would do like ADR sessions and pickup sessions, but there'd be, a session every like Thursday, I think it was.
Is Nickelodeon celebrating the show too at that point because it's so popular?
They definitely started to, yeah. And it was fun to go in and see like big Timmy Turner stuff or big Fairly OddParents stuff all over the walls. It's always fun to like, oh, that's a billboard of my character on Sunset Boulevard. That's pretty exciting.
Do you have a favorite character?
Yes.
Bubbles?
No.
Timmy?
No.
Raven?
No. Who? I think I like this. I'm going to make you guess.
Melody?
See, I can see through my peripheral vision that boyfriend Willie is mouthing things to you.
Willie is not here.
Yes, he is right there.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Curses. Yeah, so like when I was younger, what little girl did not want to be the Little Mermaid, but when my dad died like 8 years ago, the poster was still on my wall. Like I was a very big fan of the Little Mermaid. And when I got to town, I was doing some stuff for Disney, and they brought me into guide track for the sequel to the Little Mermaid. And guide track means they have like a great voice actor do it first so the artists can get going and so they can figure out timing, and then they offer it to an A-list celebrity, and that happens a lot. Why do we say yes? Because sometimes we get to keep it, or we get to keep another part after working with the creators of that, and they let me keep it. And so I did all the dialogue first, and there were songs that were super duper cute. And when the day I got to go in and sing with Jodie Benson, I walked in and I shook her hand and I burst into tears. Like I fangirled real bad. And she's like, honey, are you okay? And I'm like, I've just loved you for so long. Like it was out of control. And now we're friends, of course. And she was so gracious that day. And I could have died the next day. Like that was a beautiful thing. But also like on a regular basis, characters that I love to do that are fun. Of course, Bubbles and Raven and Harley's super important to me, and Batgirl. And now I love doing Miss Minutes. Anytime I can be this devious thing that sort of controls the universe, it's kind of fun.
When you step into a Marvel universe like that, does that have a different feel compared to other shows? Maybe like a new show that you're signing on for?
I mean, I would be lying if I did not say yes. Like, the levity of you doing a Marvel character.
What is that?
Let's be real.
What does that feel like?
It feels pretty fucking great. It like hits you right here. Like, yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Marvel's just fun. It's a fun escape, and like having these comic book characters come to life at a time where they can really like make the effects look great, and there's great actors and great storytellers. Everyone I've worked with over there has been so fun. I've been in the Marvel Universe for decades in the animation world, but the MCU is a whole next level. And we get invited to all the premieres, which is fun. Right, Willie, boyfriend, who is in fact sitting right there?
I don't know who you're talking to. There's no one here.
Turn that camera right now.
Do you feel a difference when you're doing a movie versus a TV show, or are they all pretty similar?
I mean, the act of acting for animation is definitely the same thing, but I would probably say I get more excited doing a movie. There's just something kind of extra special about it. And also depending on the content and how excited you are about that part.
When you have a character like Harley and there's a lot of projects going on, do you tweak them as time goes on to add more dimension to her?
Well, you really have to. I've voiced Harley in so many iterations and universes. It would make no sense for me to be the hardcore, tough character she is in one of the more violent games as it would be DC superhero girls. So we have to know the vibe of the show and the universe and what's going on and who she is. And it's so fun to play her in multiple universes. There was one short I did that was like Harley is even more insane than the Joker, more violent than the Joker. She like kills people and keeps their bodies alive in her house, and she's insane, and she's from Boston or something. And like, it's just fun to see her. The concept that there are multiple versions of us on different timelines, like getting to do that for Harley is really fun.
Do you ever get stumped when you're in the booth? If there's, like, I heard you do Dill Pickles in Rugrats, and he's throwing up, he's pooping and crying, and he just got throwing something to Tommy. What kind, do you get stumped when there's an action that you have to try and figure out?
I don't think I get stumped. I think I'll try a few and see what lands. Baby Dill was like very fun. Like most of his lines were in the stage direction. So he'd be like, yeah, that's mine. And like just following my script would be so wet because I'd be like sucking on my fingers or my toes, or like there's a total physicality that you can get away with within the parameters of the microphone that I definitely took advantage of in Rugrats. But I don't think I've ever been, I maybe have been stumped for like an animal noise, because there are people that are very, very good at not cartoony, authentic animal noises, like Frank Welker or Dee Baker. Like some of these voice actors are really proficient in sounding like actual animals. So maybe I was stumped there, or an accent that wasn't something just that I do very quickly, easily. Like if I don't know the accent, I will take time to learn it. But if I'm thrown it at an audition and I'm not ready, maybe that would be a stump.
How often are you doing voices now throughout the week for projects?
Every day,
Nonstop.
nonstop.
How many credits do you have?
1 billion,
I'd say 1 trillion.
maybe a gazillion.
What do you think is the most impressive thing about your career?
I think the most impressive thing is the thing that surprised me the most is how much I love doing Comic-Cons and meeting people and understanding what these characters meant to people in their lives. And I really like helping people. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing enough. I've been raising money and doing things for charity since I'm little, but like, are you doing enough? I don't know. And then I have these moments at cons that feel so like love fulfilling that I'm like, wow, I'm so happy I have the opportunity to do that for this person. Like when a person comes to a con, it's not the autograph that they're paying for. Yes, of course, that's part of it, but it's that moment with you. And people that like haven't spoken or are shy, or it takes a lot for them to get out and come to a con, and they start crying and telling you like, I had no friends till My Little Pony, or I wanted to take my life till I saw Raven, or like, these really beautiful stories that happen at cons that like are this gorgeous exchange of light magic make me very happy.
What do you think it is about animation and the connection with the fans?
I think because animation was so ahead of the game with inclusion, it could be a character that loved anybody, any gender, any color, from any country, and everything was love and exploring humanity and finding yourself in some of these characters. And I think particularly something like My Little Pony, people would watch the show and say, oh, I'm like that pony. Oh, I identify with this behavior. Or, I see how I could have handled that differently because this pony's kind of like me. I mean, that even happened to me. Like you kind of learn things like, oh, okay. They're pretty bright, a lot of these shows, they're quite intelligent. And going back to some of the stuff I did earlier that had enough adult humor for parents watching with kids, pretty funny to watch now because definitely times have changed. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
What character resonates with the most people at conventions? And I know a lot of them are themed and
yeah,
it goes in waves.
It's a mix, but usually we sell out a Raven everywhere we go. They love Bubbles. They love Timmy. They love Harley. They love Batgirl. I have like a group shot. I'm sure you could show it on the screen. People like that because then they don't have to choose. But then sometimes I'll go to a con and everybody wants Ben 10. Everybody wants Ben 10. It's so random and weird. In Dubai, everybody wanted Ben 10. And in the UK, and they had way more cool toys than we did.
Really?
Yeah, way more.
When you came across for Ben 10, did you think that was going to be special?
Yeah. I actually knew about all of them, and I felt like I knew that about Symbionic Titan, so it disappointed me when that didn't get a pickup. It was such a fucking good show. Can we swear on this?
Please.
I loved Symbionic Titan. I thought that was a genius show, and I thought that had the same magic, and then didn't go.
I feel like you're the one to know too if shows are going to get like exploding.
Yeah, I definitely have a feeling about it.
When you're creating a universe, what do you think is the most important piece of information for you to know about creating a character other than what they look like?
Like, there is so much information you need, and it's very irresponsible when studios sending breakdowns don't give you everything they have, because the more you give the actor, the more they will supply you with what you want. And it's so important to have every piece of that puzzle. Like I said, I like a drawing. I like to know their age. Their drawing and their age is like super important to me. Where they grew up, do they have an accent? Who do they love? How do they feel about this character that they're talking to? If you are auditioning for something and it's kind of unclear how you feel about someone, see if you can get the sides for that other character so you can see how he talks about you or whatever it is. Like, knowing how you feel about the people you are interacting with is very important. And vibe is very important. And sometimes they do not make that clear, which makes me insane, because without knowing the vibe, is it an adult show? Is it a kid's show? Like, sometimes it's really, really vague. But I will research till, like, I have no more research to do. Like, I had an audition for something that was coded, so we wouldn't know what it was. So, like,
To keep it secret?
a Marvel or a DC property, right? And the character was something I had never heard of before, but I went to town researching who this character could be. And I was going down all these rabbit holes on the internet until I finally found one tiny hook that this character was mentioned in one edition of a comic. And I found that comic, and that scene was from that comic. It was exactly the same lines.
What?
So I'm like a PI.
What project was it?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet.
No.
Oh. How often are you surprised at a project that you're in because it's a top secret, they don't give you the real name or the character, and then you find out what it is?
Not as often as the other way, where you know exactly what you're getting into, but like less frequently for sure. But when it happens, it's really exciting. Like Loki, I didn't really know it was Loki. And then I was on the Zoom with everyone, and they're like, "It's Loki." I'm like, like, I knew it was Marvel, but I didn't really know that.
So you didn't know what universe or what character?
I didn't know until I was on the Zoom. They're very secretive.
Oh, that's crazy.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to prune you.
Are you in any theme parks?
Yes,
Disney?
lots. There's a Batgirl ride somewhere that I
Flags?
did voice for, maybe. And actually, Jessica DeChico just told me that our voices from Pets 2 is in something at Universal right now. I know I did a Ben 10 ride. I've been in some rides.
How do those compare to other voice acting roles?
Well, they're easier. They're usually way less dialogue, but it's just like cool to say like, oh yeah, I'm a ride.
Do they pay residuals on rides?
No. The only thing they pay residuals for is television or film. So like, you know, when the Powerpuff Girls made $80 billion in toy sales, we did not get a piece of that.
That's completely separate.
Yeah.
But you
Video
are doing
games that sell like a billion games that sell way more than TV shows, we do not get it back into that.
Oh, even for video games.
Mhm. Even though they are way more work than a show. You have to cover every kind of way this character says 1,000 lines. It's way more work.
And that's more strenuous on your voice.
Way more. Because it's just you for 4 hours. They can use you for a 4-hour session. So if you're just talking to yourself, even if you're not screaming and doing death sounds, 4 hours is tiring.
Do any video games come to mind that really roughed up your voice?
Roughed up my voice. A lot. Like, there's a lot. If I have to really look back in my memory, like a lot of fighting games that I was probably like, okay, I need a break.
Are you in any Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Who are you?
Look it up. I forget the name of my character.
It's very impressive with how aware of what characters and projects you are in, considering how many you are in. You voiced Farah and Lee May.
Farah. Is it Farah Tor?
It just says Farah. And Lee
thought it
May
was
in Mortal
Farrah
Kombat
Tor.
X.
Lee May, yeah. Yeah, I mean, those are fun. Not as fun as Harley. Harley is my favorite thing to do in a video game.
When Final Fantasy comes across for you, did you
a
expect...
lot of fans for Final Fantasy. Every con, a lot. They love, love, love that game and those characters, and they feel very connected very connected to that story.
Because they're really in there in that world with the
Yeah,
character.
that's how I feel about acting for video games as opposed to an animated show. Like, people feel like they're really in these scenes, in these moments with you.
Because it's so interactive.
And you have to be conscious of that. The most interactive one I did was for Arkham Shadow, which is a VR one. And so when we shot that, it was like the most amazing combination of on camera and voiceover, because obviously it's not on camera. You're on a set and there's like marks for you to hit. They're all like foam gymnastic things or like a weird staircase. Like, it doesn't look like a real set, but you're still on set.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a crazy suit with like little
The motion
sensors
capture.
everywhere. Yeah. And you know, you have to memorize your lines, which you never really do in voiceover, but you do for VR. And you're in these scenes where, like, you know, okay, follow me. And then you're supposed to open the door. And you have to do, like, even though the next line is like, me first, you have to wait because there's like 3 other options. Okay, let's go. How long are we gonna wait here? Yeah, so like, if you were acting in a film, you obviously wouldn't do like 3 different lines for that line or whatever. But getting like to go like down like to like where a player would be like, get up, you lazy, because Batman is the player in that, was really fun and interactive. I made my boyfriend play that so I could hear myself.
What's the hardest part about doing motion capture for a video game?
I don't really know that there's a harder part except for memorizing. So that's harder than obviously getting to like read a chunky line if you were in a studio.
Right. What show have you done that you think deserves another season?
Chowder,
Why?
because it's hilarious.
Where was that on?
Cartoon Network. Although the fans of Teen Titans deserve a season 6. They deserve a season 6. They've been asking for it for a really long time. And the show ended at a really strange, pivotal story arc that left people quite upset. And they've been asking for a really long time. And they could do it at the same time as Teen Titans Go. Like, they're 2 kind of different shows. One's a hilarious comedy, which I love doing. And one is a story that needs to be told. So probably if I had to choose one, I'd choose that because the fans deserve it.
Safe to say you'd return to the role, obviously.
Hell yeah. We get very mad when other people do our parts.
When they pass them on to somebody else?
Yes.
Why do they do that?
Usually, the truth is, it's just some suit trying to prove their worth at a studio and not really comprehending that the fans fall in love with the actor that created the voice, not just how it sounds. And if the person is still capable of doing that voice, they should be able to do it till they die if they brought in something to that character that made it catch fire, right? Something that they did made that character catch fire, and they should be able to do that forever, which is kind of how it is at Disney character voices. Like, if you're Mickey or Minnie, you get to do that till you die.
Goofy's been Bill Farmer for the past 37 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be, it's just, you feel so connected to these characters that when you see someone else like copying what you like grew in your body, it's weird. It's like someone else taking your baby.
For you as a voice actor, do you get a heads up about that happening? They're doing a new project,
Yes.
You're not involved.
Yeah.
That must be frustrating.
It's frustrating. Yeah. Once in a while I don't hear about it, and that's if like if a TV or a show is putting out merchandise and they want to do a talking toy, often they won't even come to us because the companies do not want to use the union. They don't want to pay an actor. So a SAG rate's like $900 something. They don't want to pay that. They'd rather pay someone they can get to copy our voices $50 and abuse them all day, and there's no one to watch out for you and make sure you're okay.
It's a toy. It doesn't have to be the exact same.
Exactly, which again is stupid. We don't get a residual. Pay the actors that made that character catch fire. We get upset when like, oh my God, that's my toy. Oh my God, it's not my voice. Like,
it ruins the legacy of the character.
It's so silly. So I don't know. Inevitably, someone, either a business person, just makes a dumb decision that's not right.
One of the most mind-blowing things about voice acting is Pluto has to do a new bark every time Pluto and Disney is on screen.
Oh, yeah?
So every single time you see Pluto bark, Bill Farmer goes in and does a new bark.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure they have a library of barks, but it is quite possible that he does do that to be in character and be in the moment because he's responding to certain things that are happening in the story that maybe didn't happen before. But they probably have a library to slide something in if they don't get it that day.
Oh, you think?
100%. Most shows have a library.
Would they just license out his voice, or they could just use the bark whenever?
No, they can use it if he did a Walla. It's called a Walla library. So you'll get like pages of like jump, and it'll be like small, medium, large. So like, yeah, right.
I'll let you do it.
Yeah, and then like falling or screaming or laughing or burping or singing or whatever it is, and there'll be pages of a Walla library. That's what that is, and you record that with all the people you do the dialogue with, and they keep it forever.
Are you familiar with the Wilhelm scream?
The Wilhelm scream?
Wilhelm scream?
Wilhelm scream? No.
They sneak it in movies where the guy falls down somewhere and he goes, ah!
No, I didn't know that.
Right? Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put it in Star Wars.
I kind of did that today with an audition. I'm not going to tell you what it's for, but like I decided it would be kind of hilarious if my character had this weird thing he did after every line. And so when I found one that was really funny, I just copy pasted it a couple times.
At what point did you start understanding the whole process of animation? Like, you brought your cells,
Oh, yeah, I brought my cells.
which I think is the coolest thing because people hand draw these for every show
And
And-
paint them.
and paint them, and there's 12 per second.
Yeah. How cool is that? You know, they don't make them anymore, so I have quite the collection at home, especially of all my favorite characters. I love Batgirl and the Batgirl cells and the Batgirl with Batman and that run with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill was so special. So I love any cell from that show. I also have a cell from my first show from Hello Kitty. I've got a ton of Powerpuff cells and Rugrats cells.
What did they do with the cells when they were all done with them? Did they just give them out to people?
I mean, I'm sure they had some kind of deal where they sold them to some kind of dealers. I'm sure they gave some away. There were so many. There must be tons that just ended up in a trash, I'm sure.
But look how cool that is! She's hardcore.
How cute is that? I love that one. So cute. That's in our hallway. Both of those are in our hallway. You know, probably one of the only things that's still done kind of classic is like claymation, stuff like that, where they're really like hands-on.
The stop motion ones?
Yeah, like Seth Green. Have you interviewed Seth Green?
No, I'd love to, though.
Oh, wait, I just texted him. Okay.
Oh.
Right. I texted him.
Maybe one
Okay.
day.
Okay. Like Stupid Buddy Studios are so fun to walk through and see like them still doing that classic claymation stuff.
Were you always able to go from Disney to Cartoon Network to Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
There was no non-competes?
No.
How come?
Because you're not selling a product, you're becoming a character, and you can't theoretically do that character on another show. I couldn't like sell something on Nickelodeon with, you know, a Disney voice. Like it's not product stuff. It's creating these characters. So there's not really there's no non-compete. You just should not do the same voice in other places ever, but you shouldn't ever.
They also probably wouldn't take that as the project anyway, too, because they don't want you to be the same one.
Sometimes they ask for the same. I've been in sessions where like, can you do Timmy Turner here? And I'm like, no, Timmy Turner is on the Fairly OddParents. He lives with his mom and dad. He has
Oh,
Cosmo
they're
and
just trying to
Wanda.
sneak it in.
Yeah. And it can be a variation of that, right? Like Shaolin Showdown, Gong Yi Tum Pai, you know? He's like deeper. Terrence from Foster's Home, you're a loser. He's deeper and raspier. Like we can pull in even Ben 10. It's hero time. It's Timmy, but deeper, a little bit older, a little cooler. So we can make variations on that boy sound, but I'm not going to do Timmy Turner.
Can you just swap through all the voices that easily?
I just did it for you.
But it's how?
I told you I'm a genius.
Where do you reach in from like your what's it called? Your diaphragm?
I don't actually think about it at all.
It just comes out.
Yes.
Timmy Turner,
I wish Cosmo and Wanda were here.
Ben 10,
Going hero.
My Little Pony,
Dear Princess Celestia, today I had so much fun with Joe. What's his cutie mark?
Riku,
YRP in position and roll out.
Bubbles.
I'm gonna be the prettiest girl at the party.
Bubbles talking to a squirrel. Ms. Minutes.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority. I'm Miss Minutes.
Are you in Marvel Land
I don't know what that is.
at Disney for Ms. Minutes?
Oh, she has been there. I'm sure they've used her in things. I got to do the voice for the last D23 like walkthrough experience, which was really fun because we had all these like original lines set. Like having Miss Minutes like guide people through, but then the producers and writers and people that were working on that with me, who are like my favorite to collaborate, as well as the Marvel shorts. I don't know if you've seen the shorts, but they're really great on the Instagram channel. They're like beautifully animated shorts where Miss Minutes explains the Marvel timeline of other characters. They're amazing. And we have so much fun. We're very collaborative. We'll add things. So like the one in line's like, are those the shoes you chose to wear? Like, you be nicer to her now. Like just throwing things at people that would make them kind of go, huh? What did Miss Minutes just say to me? Yeah.
For you as a voice actress, are you pretty involved in all the auditions that come your way? Are you signing on to what you want, or do you just throw out everything? Like, is your manager filtering through projects that would make sense for you?
Of course, yeah. Your agent is someone that should know everything you're capable of and what you wouldn't want to do. She doesn't really waste my. I don't think there's ever been a time in my career with Natanya Rose at DPN that I've said no to something. She's very good at picking through what I should read for and what I shouldn't.
So she knows what is good.
Yeah, and she knows my capabilities. A lot of times when people start with a new agent, they're like, oh, they're not sending me out for this singing thing, and I can sing. Have you told them that? No. Like, you have to let your agent know all the things that you can do so that when a breakdown comes in and it says this character needs to sing, they're going to think of you.
Voicelings.
Yeah.
What would you call it besides a community?
It's a masterclass.
People can sign up for it to really get the ins and outs of the industry, and if they want to do this professionally.
You're a voiceling.
I am a voiceling.
What do you think?
It's incredible.
I love it so much.
It's a really unique community that I was not expecting what it was.
Right? I actually wasn't expecting that either. It's almost the same thing about the fans thing. Like, the community in Facebook is like the first ever online no bullying situation I've ever experienced. People are like, what do you think of this audition? And what do you think of this drawing? And my cat died. And everyone's like there for each other. It's so cute. And, for a long time I did not want to teach because I really hate bullies. I hate scammers. And I hated the idea of taking money from people who really felt compelled to do this career and not be able to promise them something, because you certainly cannot promise work, in any place that tells you that is full of crap. And I would witness so many terrible classes, and like, I just feel like if you're going to teach a master class in something, you better be a master at it. And a lot of the people teaching how to get into animation have never been on an animated series or on the other side of it or directed it.
But
or
they
have
know
been
about it.
Yeah, and it makes me really mad. And I get asked every day online. I get asked every day to con. And my boyfriend, Willie, who is here, suggested, why don't you make it a community? And so that started to kind of open up my eyes to, and my heart to, like, what I could do to make this special for people. And we started brainstorming, and I decided I need to write the course curriculum, even though I could certainly just go off and it be perfectly wonderful. I just thought I wanted to give people a sort of structured place to go. And so I started writing out classes from the very, very beginning, what other acting classes you should take, to being in the booth and sustaining a career. Like, I started writing and I could not stop. I was just like, I couldn't stop. And then we recorded the classes just like a master class. And then Willie found these amazing people at Build Your Own Masterclass, or is that what it's called? Build Your Own Masterclass? Build Your Own Masterclass. And it was a very collaborative process for them to take the videos that I made and then adding things in and then working together to really build this site that feels very user-friendly, and also that people are getting something out of it. And I love... we have 2 live events every month. One is a legend, so it's someone that's somewhere near me, my caliber of voice acting, or a casting director, a show creator, a SAG representative, an agent, someone that could help propel your career. And then the other live event is either an AMA or open gym, where myself or some of my writer friends have written scripts that would be exactly like what you would get at Disney or Nickelodeon. And we do cold readings and we do rehearsed readings of the students, and they get to perform in front of everybody and get critiqued by me and some of the other trainers. And it's super intimidating, but it was very important for me to create a space that was authentic. That's like, no, it is not easy to break in. No, that demo is not ready. Don't submit it because I want you to have the best chance you can. And there has to be an honesty there. And so when I'm doing the live critiquing events, I'll be like, you did that awesome. If that was a real audition, I'd want you to read it 100 more times so the words came right off your tongue because some of those words are tricky and challenging and tongue twistery or whatever it is. And, people at first are so frightened, but you cannot get good at this unless you are practicing. And so even the act of them doing it in front of other people has given people more confidence. And people are like booking things and getting agents. And then the other pieces, we have these auditions for things in-house as well as outside of Voicelings where we're doing collaborative stuff. And we are actually right now in development for some animated series that the Voicelings get to put their voices to. We had our first movie premiere last year at Comic-Con, and Danny from Love on the Spectrum students did the animation and my students did the voices. And it's like beautiful to give these opportunities to people. And whenever they win like a challenge, like a commercial for one of the legends that's coming or some sort of a animation project, that's the only time they get to work with me, and then they get private one-on-ones. But I know you had Kathleen in here. She's one of our other coaches and she does private stuff too. But it's just like this amazing, beautiful, fun community, and I'm giving people what I think they want, which is everything that's going on in my crazy brain and the opportunity to see themselves animated, which is what they want.
I love that you could book one-on-ones with the guests too. So like Kathleen has that offer, and I love the technical aspect of even going down to what kind of mic and the setup of how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the biggest things too when you're first starting out on this journey.
It's so important. Like if you sound like if you're a wonderful actor but your equipment sounds terrible, you're not going to book anything.
It's the same thing with when I post videos obviously, and somebody was like, "Can you tell me what they're doing wrong?" But if you're not set up properly, it's just not going to look good.
Right.
And you really take people and show them exactly what to do, which is really cool.
I have to be honest with them. And I wouldn't want someone to go out into the world and get hurt because they weren't ready, and they could get ready with me. Like I tell them, make all your mistakes with me. And they do. And they're comfortable. And I'm like, yes, I'm so glad you did that. Don't do that in front of a director.
Who are some of the people that you've had on, you said? Like Kathleen, Dora the Explorer, Seth Green.
We had Nancy Cartwright.
Bart Simpson.
We had Jodie Benson. We had
Ariel from Little Mermaid.
Okay, we had Kari Payton. He's Cyborg. And he's also King Ezekiel on Walking Dead.
Oh, wow.
Greg Sipes. We had Rob Paulson.
Because the only way you can really get opportunities to listen to these people like in an interactive setting is on a panel.
Right.
But
not everybody can go to a con.
No.
It's actually very similar to a live panel at a Comic-Con because I'll start interviewing everyone. I ask everybody 3 questions. And then we go to audience questions. And the 3 questions I ask are, what's your origin story? How do you break down a character when you get an audition? And how do you deal with the voice that says you're not good enough in your head? Those are the 3 things I ask every single person. And then however it goes from there is up for grabs and whatever the universe wants us to talk about. But it's so fascinating because no 2 voice actors have had the same process for breaking down a script. And we're talking Tom Kenny was on, Richard Harvitz was on, like big performers, and none of them have the same process. But every single one of their processes includes magic.
In what way?
In different ways. Like I'll have a crystal with me, or I'll do a mantra, or I'll wear this color, or I'll do this, or I'll imagine this. And like, it's so interesting. And I like giving that to the students because anytime I've watched an interview with an actor that I respect and they say something and I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm gonna try that in my practice. Like I want people to come away with something that they can try, and maybe that'll work for them, and maybe they'll book something because they're doing their breakdowns partially because of how Tom Kenny said and partially because of how Kathleen said.
What's been the most surprising thing that you've heard from somebody like Richard Horvitz or Tom Kenny?
Richard Harvitz was very surprising to me because he said that he does not read the character description first. He goes into the script and does a take and then goes back and reads it to see if he was close to what they wanted. And I tried that just for fun, and it makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's like riding a bull with your blindfold on.
But also, like, you could be the wrong gender or age or have not read about an accent, and I would rather save the voice for like performance and know everything I can about what I'm about to do so I can visualize those moments for me. But for him, it works. He's super successful. And someone else came on and said that they did that too. And I was like, oh my God, you're like Richard. So it's like there is no wrong answer. Whatever you do to help you become that character is the right answer.
Who's been really impressive to you when you're in the booth with them, when you guys are doing reads together?
In a studio?
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many impressive people. I think one of the most surprising early on was Mark Hamill, because sometimes A-list celebrities would come in and want to do a show, and either it wasn't just for them or they would get intimidated because they'd see someone like Billy West or Maurice LaMarche doing a million voices, and like it's a different medium. Like, and sometimes they're wonderful at it and sometimes they weren't so great at it. And that's the same for any kind of art form, right? And so I think having someone as big as Luke Skywalker come in and absolutely demolish as the Joker was surprising. And like, wow, he was so good.
Is that something like you just have it?
Yes, for sure. Not that you can't work on it and improve on it. That's what I'm trying to do at Voicelings and help people. But if you don't have it in you naturally to be an actor, you're not going to succeed in voiceover.
What if someone's in their small town and they want to be a voice actor? What would be the best steps for them to
join Voicelings? I mean, it's all online. The classes are all pre-recorded. The events are all online, although we'll probably do some live events soon. But yeah, it's a great place to start before you move somewhere, because theoretically there are many agents, I'd say most LA agents will not take a new client that does not live in Los Angeles, even though most jobs are remote. It's just a thing. So you don't want to move to LA or give up your life or move to New York to do theater until you know you're really ready. So I think it's kind of cool to be able to do something online that gives you everything you need to know. So I'd say to someone like that, do it. It doesn't matter where you were born. If you got it, you got it. But learn how to be successful at it before you make a big life change.
Because it's also the first steps of building your community and networking.
Networking is really important, which is another reason I love the Voicelings, because every casting director follows me, every agent follows me. So when I post, hey, this is my awesome voiceling Kelwin, who's like this insane singer and actor, and I'll like tag agents. I'm like, he's looking for a new one. Like, I like showcasing my talent and trying to help him out.
You've had countless roles. Is there any story that comes to mind where you landed a new role from something in a crazy way? Somebody heard an old show that you did. You met somebody at a con and then they got a job at a new position and they hired you. Somebody became a director at another show and brought you on.
I mean, that kind of stuff happens a lot. Like if there's a voice director that knows you and likes working with you and you guys have a good rapport, a lot of times they'll just bring you in for something. So that happens a lot in voiceover. I'd say probably more than in on camera, because when they get to know you, they know what you can do, and then they look good to producers, right? If we do like a loop group session, and the director was supposed to find someone that can do a bunch of different school kids or a bunch of different dragons or a bunch of different accents, and she's bringing in all these people that are killing every line, the studio's going to remember that.
Do any loop groups come to mind that were really fun for you?
Yes.
Which ones?
I did Wicked. I'm the voice of Dorothy. Like when she's heading toward this balloon, you couldn't really hear her, so I did it. And I got to work with John Chu. It was really cool. And we got to sing in it. It was really fun. Me and Kathleen. Also, I love doing Monsters, Inc. That was really fun.
What were you in that?
In the second one, when they go to college, Monsters U, I did a lot of characters in that, but like the one that stuck out was when they were going through the games and they're like in the maze and there's like all the different like human kids going, ah, Daddy, I'm on the phone, and then screams. Like I did a bunch of those characters. That was really fun. Yeah, loop groups are always fun because the ones that I'm in, I'm just very lucky. Like Terry Douglas, who is the best at loop group coordinating there is, will put together really wonderful performers. So like you are in the room with Phil Lamar and Grey Delisle and Chris Summer and Lorraine Newman and, you know, Rob Paulson and Bob Bergen. Like they're all in the room and we all are friends and we know each other for a lifetime. So we get to play off each other. And when we have to do like improv things, like there's a thing in loop groups where you have to sound like you're part of a crowd and they say, okay, we'll do a donut. And so like you and one other person will walk around in a circle and pretend that you're a couple to like be, you know, someone sitting at a restaurant. And so like if I'm walking with David Kay, we're going to have a lot to talk about and we'll talk about very silly things.
Could we do rapid fire?
Okay.
Who's the character most like your personality?
Probably Bubbles.
I was going to say that.
Probably. Because I'm really nice until I'm not.
Favorite line you've ever recorded?
Probably Azarath, Metreon, Zinthos, because it's lasted forever.
A voice you can do instantly with no warm-up. Seems
All
like
of
all of them. Most requested from the fans?
Timmy Turner, I think. It just kind of blows people's minds, especially when they didn't know it was a girl. And I just start doing Timmy Turner. They're like, what? That's really weird.
Favorite show you've worked on?
Like of late, Loki for sure. And back in the day, I could not choose between Powerpuff Girls and Fairly OddParents, and also Chowder, and also Drawn Together was insanely fun. Like that was a really fun show to do because I
Just
do
a
a
really
lot of
good
kids
group.
show, and this was very dirty,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to say bad words.
Do people ever get upset hearing you say bad words knowing that
Yes.
Why is that?
Sometimes I don't know. They feel like
you're not supposed to?
they're like if someone feels very connected to a character and they feel like it's wrong to swear. I have had some like people on Cameo ask me why like Harley said a swear word. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
They're different people.
Yeah.
What animated shows really impress you?
I think The Simpsons is probably one of the most impressive pieces of animated history on
The longevity?
television. The longevity of it, them be able to keep up with what's happening in the world and that level of comedy, you know, and that I think probably that's very impressive. I also always loved the Rugrats before I was ever on it, and I thought the animation was so unique and weird, and I really liked that. Same with Chowder. Like, you haven't seen Chowder? You have to watch the show. Like the animation would be in one color palette, and like the background would be moving, and it was like really weird, but also for kids. And it was like, wow, so much fun to watch. There's so many really amazing animated things that I've seen that I've loved to be a part of, and I know that wasn't the coincidence, but like also like anything Miyazaki, it's like just so cool to watch that and be a part of it. And I think animated features have been doing a good job for a long time. I think like the big Disney animated features where you get to just get lost in these beautiful stories are so fun.
What other Pixar films are you part of?
Secret Life of Pets 2. Minions Pixar? Is it? No, Illumination, yeah. A Toy Story.
My favorite animated. Are you in Finding Nemo?
No. Mm-mm.
Toy Story.
Yeah, not the original one, but like one or two of the sequels.
When Toy Story comes to you, is that a secret project?
Yes.
Do you have the real lines?
We know what it is, but we are not allowed to tell people.
So how many projects are you a part of now that are coming out that you can't tell us about?
A lot. Probably 1 billion.
Leak one. What's the worst that's going to happen?
I don't know. You're so right. I should tell you about a big Marvel thing.
Oh, yeah. Which one is that?
I should tell you about that.
Can I ask you about voicing both Super Mario shows?
Oh, that was like when I was 14. I was hip and hop in the animated series.
How'd that come to you?
It was just another audition. There's a lot of
While you were living in
production
Canada?
Toronto, yeah.
Oh. When you moved,
Beetlejuice, Care Bears, all those shows, Toronto.
when you moved to California, did a lot more doors open up for you?
It took a while. It took a couple years, and I was like working consistently my entire life in Toronto. So it was challenging to come here and them not know who I am in this world, because I figured it would translate because a lot of them were American productions. But these are people going to the booth every day that they know, and they didn't know me yet. So I was like eviction notice broke for a couple years.
And then once you got Hello Kitty, that's what kicked in.
No, Hello Kitty was when I was 13 in Toronto.
Oh.
That was my first job. I was 13. I didn't move to LA till I was 20.
So what were you doing when you first got here?
I was auditioning like crazy and taking dance classes and singing lessons and everything I could do. And I had an agent, but like my first thing I booked on camera was National Lampoon Senior Trip, which was shooting in Toronto, which is hilarious.
So you go back home.
Yeah. And I did quite a bit of on camera, but the voiceover took like a minute to catch fire. And I thought I was going to have to go home because I was so broke. And then the woman that gave me Hello Kitty when I was 13, Marsha Goodman, called me and said, "Hey, do you want to be in the new Inspector Gadget?" And I was like, yes. And it was called Gadget Boy and Heather, and Maurice LaMarche was Inspector Gadget. And it was like, she literally is my angel because she started me and then she saved me. And then I did like little odd things here and there, like Johnny Quest and guest star stuff. And then I booked Powerpuff Girls and Batgirl and like 101 Dalmatians all around the same time. And then they were like, and then Hollywood's like, who's this chick?
And 101 Dalmatians was a 100-episode pickup?
100 guaranteed episodes.
That's crazy.
Really crazy. That never happens. It hasn't happened since.
That was a white whale.
I mean, I just remember like in the audition, I auditioned for like a lot of the dogs too, which I ended up booking, I was a couple of little regular dogs. But like the big part was Spot the chicken, which is like another one of those ideas that came to me last minute. That the character description was she was like really hyper and she's a chicken that thinks she's a dog. And I called my mom like right before I went in Toronto. I'm like, would it be funny if since she's a chicken, if she gets tripped up, like if there's a P or a B? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I could put up with the grilling jokes, the chicken make references, even you asking me why every time I cross the road, peacock. And she's like, yes, do that. And so I did that and I booked it. And it was just a lot of fun to play this crazy character.
Did they do 100 episodes all in one season? Or how do they separate that?
I can't really remember. That was quite some time ago. I think we probably had 1 or 2 sessions a week until that was done.
Wow. What's the biggest compliment you've ever received from a major celebrity that you admire?
Okay, so I've had a few. One is I was doing an on-camera show over COVID in Toronto. It was on Netflix in Canada, and Kim Coates was my co-star, same like Ron Perlman, and I was like the bad guy of this first season of a show called Pretty Hard Cases. So if Harley Quinn was a mom, it was like that. She was like a drug dealer, terrible. But it was so fun to play. It's always so fun to play the bad guy. And so Kim Coates was my like co-star for all the bad guy stuff. And at one point he just looked at me and he's like, I get who you are in your world, but people don't know what you can do. You're so much more than that. He was just like, you're an amazing on-camera actress. And I was like, oh, hadn't heard that for a while. So that was like really sweet.
Are you going out for a lot more on-camera auditions now?
I mean, a good amount.
Do you have to put it out to your manager like that you want to do that so that you're seeking them out?
Oh, yeah. You have to have, there's a separate agent. In Toronto, you get one agent for everything. But in LA, you need a separate agent for voiceover, for on-camera, for theater, for commercial, for like, Instagram stuff. There's like, for con stuff, there's all different agents.
Right.
So you got to go where you want to be represented.
I have some more fan questions.
Okay.
Are there any underappreciated characters that no one talks to you about that you voiced that you really liked?
I don't like, I feel like all of the characters that I really love get a lot of love. Like, I don't think there's one that I'm like, oh, why don't more people love this character? I don't think that I have that.
What else do you have coming up now? Do you have any cons lined up for the rest of the year?
Yes, I have several cons lined up for the year. I should probably do posts about them more or set up a website where people can find me. But I'm going to Dallas May 2nd. I don't know if this is going to air before that. Then I don't know what's after Dallas. I don't know. I think I have 1 or 2 a month every month. I think so.
That's so exciting.
1 or 2, yeah. I mean, you can go to 2 cons every weekend somewhere. There's people that do 2 cons. Like we would see Shatner go from Florida to like Denver in the same weekend.
I mean, you were doing a lot last year.
Yeah, but 2 in 1 weekend would be crazy.
Because it's only one day there?
Just feel like I'd be so tired and I want to be able to give people like the best energy I have with them. Like I think that much traveling would be insane. And I like it. I like when I go with my boyfriend who's not here because we have fun date nights. Like we really love hanging out with Kathleen and Reggie and our little voiceover friends. We all talk about the fact that that's really the only time we get to see each other anymore. It used to be that we would see each other in the studios all the time. And it was a very, very social career, and now we don't get to do that. So the time we get to hang out now is at cons. And like, if you've ever seen a drunk dancing Dee Baker, it's pretty wonderful.
Are you mostly recording all your stuff at home now?
Yes.
Really?
I'd say 95%.
And then the vocal director's just on a Zoom with you? What do you record it on?
What do I record on?
Yeah. Like, are you in Premiere?
I like to record in Twisted Wave. It's the easiest to edit.
And then you just send them the file and they take care of it?
Yep. And for top secret jobs, there's top secret drop boxes.
Wow. Very interesting. This has been awesome talking to you.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks so much for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're gonna do a Voicelings code.
Okay.
60% off. Use my code JOE60. Go sign up if you want to get into voiceover, learn more about the community. If you want to take it to the next level, voicelings.com.
You're already there.
I'm already there.
Can confirm. It's awesome.
Who's the next speaker?
It's supposed to be Jim Cummings, but I have to move him because I'm going to this con.
Winnie the Pooh.
I know. Yeah, we have. I mean, every upcoming person is awesome, and we're always going to have awesome people. There's so many awesome people in voiceover.
There really are.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to do any funny voices of your show title for you?
Sure.
Hey, you I wish you'd watch the JOE VULPIS podcast.
Whatever, watch the JOE VULPIS podcast or he'll hurt you.
This is crazy.
Hi, buttons. Don't forget to watch the JOE VULPIS podcast. I'm there.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and have a voice? Like, do you have to voice memo your own voice to remember how it sounds?
No, I mean once a character is already established, that's easy for me to remember. If there has like been many years since I did a smaller character, they'll play it for me at the studio so that I can remember what I did. Comes back pretty easy.
That's wild. Cool. This is great.